Trust me, I'm not an expert, but this is a Dallas Maverick overreaction. Pretty much, I usually don't just get on camera and talk. Kind of got everything scripted, but after last night's game against Charlotte, this is November the 6th. Typically, in Mavs fashion, we usually lose to lesser opponents, and it was going as planned. We were down 13-14 late in the third against Charlotte, and I'm just thinking like, yeah, same old Mavs. Not the case this year. Pretty much a team effort between Derek Lively, Josh Powell, Dwight Powell, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway Jr., and fucking Hardy Party, Jaden Hardy. We come back and we beat a scorching red hot LaMelo Ball in the Charlotte Hornets, and Williams was doing this thing. PJ Washington was killing. Actually, it was even fun to see just that comparison of Grant Williams and PJ Washington, because that was our lead, like the two top free agents we were kind of looking at. And for a minute there, I was pretty sold on PJ Washington. So to see him head to head against the guy I just told my fucking booty. See him head to head against the guy that we actually passed on. It's pretty cool. There was a lot of preseason. I got some notes. There was a lot of preseason hype about how bad this team was going to be, and when you lose Madrid, on Twitter, the world was coming to an end, and that can be like a very dark way to start the season. But beat Victor in San Antonio in a close one with the heroics of a fourth quarter charge led by Kyrie, and then of course Luka icing the game. You come home, you play Brooklyn, and I really hate to do Finney-Smith that way in his first time coming home. We roll out this big montage of how he'll always be a Maverick, which he will. It pained me to see Finney go last year. Yeah. Luka had to hit that fourth three in a row on him, over the head hook shot, bank, and Luka was like, yeah, I practiced that shot. Of course you do. But he ain't from this world, so it really don't even count. Preseason was pretty scary. The biggest thing I noticed in the preseason was we can score points. We can score a ton of points. So are we going to stop anybody? Probably not, but somebody's going to have to keep up with us. And right now we're fourth in the league in scoring at 121 a game. Jesus Christ. And that's, of course, we're led by Luka. Of course, we run the offense through Kyrie, which he is being a true point guard. Like, there's a lot of touches that he passes off and gets everybody else involved with. But Luka playing off ball, the pace is a lot faster, so we get up and down more. Now that Luka's in game shape, he's not in big body shape. He's playing with the pace, and you see at one point he was averaging 40 a game. He shouldn't have to average that, but that's just how easy the flow of the offense and how unstoppable he was looking just in those scenarios where he had the ball. I want to touch on the role players. Just the fact that we hit on a rookie, Derek Lively, game changer. Just even being a sponge to guys like Tyson Chandler. I think Papa Jones has been mentioned, and talking to him. You still got Maxey here. You still got Dwight Powell, which Dwight Powell is an ultimate teammate. Somebody who really, him and Maxey really pushed the culture of what they want to go on in that locker room. You see, everybody who comes here, there aren't really any oddballs or any odd men out. Like, people want to play in Dallas now. People want to play with Jason Kidd. I was a part of that party who was saying that, people don't want to come play with a ball-dominant Luka, but you see he's willing to switch it up for the betterment of the team. Kyrie has no complaints. Re-signs, no problem. And now we're one of the highest, fastest paced offenses in the league, and that's with everybody getting touches. Like a ton of the players are still kind of under the notion that, yeah, be ready. Any game could be the game I gotta come in and I gotta put up big numbers just for the fact that we'll play 10 deep, we'll play 11 deep. Like, kid isn't afraid to use the bench. So guys like Grant Williams are getting serious minutes. Derrick Jones Jr. comes in as a late addition to this team. He starts, and he starts hot. You know, that third game against Chicago, we don't win without Derrick Jones Jr. That game in Memphis, where Smart and Bane are going crazy, we don't win that game without Derrick Jones Jr. So last year he didn't have the hottest shooting numbers, but those were career highs where he shot 34.9% from the field in Chicago, and I think that's trending over. So when I look at role players and I look at a guy like Grant Williams who replaces Finney Smith, I look at a guy like Derrick Jones Jr. who replaces wow, I'm drawing a blank just that quick. Who's the guy? The guy we got from the Knicks. I can't even remember right now. I'll put it in, but like, they're already trending up as major 3-and-D contributors on top of Grant Williams just being a part of the tough guy persona that, you know, what Rick Carlisle said years ago. Everybody can be a milk drinker. I don't think, you know, Grant Williams is a whiskey drinker, but got that dog in him. You saw the effort and the toughness he showed for Boston against Miami, and now he brings that here. I'm not gonna say that Boston needs it right now because they look extreme. Like, if I was a bad man, my money's on Boston coming out the East, but I am glad that we have Grant Williams in the fold. Also, I'm looking at a guy like Jaden Hardy. For a long, immediately seeing that we lost Jalen Brunson, like, that pained me. But in terms of ball handlers and shot creators now, I guess Kyrie is the upgrade to Jalen Brunson. Well, I guess it is. Even though, you know, we lost Jalen Brunson for nothing, but we get Kyrie getting off of Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney. We have Jaden Hardy, who is growing into a legit scorer in this league, who can go get a bucket, whether it's regular season, late in the game, or have you seen him in playoffs? I don't think we've seen him play. Yeah, we saw him. No, don't quote me on that. But a guy who can get hot and score with the elite in the league, and to have that just waiting on your bench, that's big. We got Steph Curry back, an elite 3-point shooter, one of the all-time high 3-point shooting percentages in the league ever. Like, that's on the bench now, waiting. Josh Green. Sometimes it's scary to see how athletic Josh Green is compared to the rest of the league. Like, he can easily, like, in the end, 94 feet. I don't know who would be faster. Now, with the ball, that might be different. Like I gotta be honest, like, Ja Morant is extremely fast with the ball in the end. But, like, it's just in a flat-out sprint, like, Josh Green might be the fastest player in the league in a flat-out sprint. I mean, even from a verticality standpoint, like, some of the rebounds and tip dunks he goes to get, yeah, he's hitting his head on the rim. He's putting his face on the rim. So, to have that on your bench, but even to have a guy who is back with his confidence and his health, man, Tim Hardaway Jr. looks so impressive this year. And he's doing something I haven't seen him do in a long time, which is really pump fake, drive, and pass. Like, a lot of those shots that Derrick Jones Jr. got in the Chicago game came from Tim Hardaway Jr. passes. I've never really seen him, like, create for others. Like, of course, he's been a scorer. He's even been a standstill scorer. Maybe that was under Rick, but under Jason, like having him coming off the second team, because initially I am a part of the people who were up in arms when I saw that Derrick Jones was starting. I was like, why? But I look at this bench chemistry where, okay, say we start Maxey, Twitter blew up when we didn't start Derek Lively. He finished though. He finished good and he finished strong. I really think he went toe to toe and damn near outplayed Victor Wembanyama in the opener in San Antonio. I mean, is he pulling up threes at 7-4? No, but he played him tough. I didn't like the fact that Grant Williams was finishing the defensive duties in that game, but I didn't have a problem with Maxey starting the game. So Maxey starts. We get into a situation where our second team looks like Lively, Hardaway, who Omax got on the court, Josh Green, and then flashes of Powell. I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Especially against a taller team or a younger team like that. We need those legs to get out and run. We also need those points. And that's what Tim Hardaway Jr. has really been doing. Third leading scorer on the team right now. Like, he's the third leading scorer on the team right now, averaging 17-7 a game. I think that's what, a few points behind Kyrie. Kyrie's averaging 19. And Grant Williams averaging right at 16 a game. Like, are you mad at that? No. Like, in the NBA, you can never have enough shot creators. It's one thing to have ball handlers, but to have a ball handler with no threat of scoring, you get into this situation where they can slack off and they can sit. But Tim will go get a bucket. I mean, like, he just seems like he's in better shape than last year. I don't know if it's a confidence. I thought it was a confidence thing, but just looking at him, he looks like he's just in better shape altogether. My door just flew open. My fault. So if you couple that with a guy like Lively coming off the bench, a guy like Hardy coming off the bench, that spreads the floor out. And you leave Kyrie in the game, and Kyrie is running with that group. Like, the score goes through the roof. I don't think I got to talk much about what Jason Kidd and the culture is. Just where, if you're a real fan and you saw, the biggest telltale to me was when I saw how he led the charge in the Laker win last year, and we beat them on Maxey step back three, and he led the charge for the dog pile. How many NBA head coaches right now will lead the dog pile? That's the kind of coach I want coaching my team. Somebody who is not bigger than the moment. Somebody who is right there in the trenches with these guys. Big win. He takes blame a lot of times for if something don't go right on the podium in the post game. A lot of times he talks about how he has direct contact with Mark Cuban. So if something was done and it was done wrong, hey, I will take it up. That's my fault, and I will address it with my manager, my owner. You can't get mad at that. But no, I like the culture, and that culture is what keeps guy 9, 10, 11, and 12 engaged. Steph Curry comes in, he averages 9 minutes a game. In 9 minutes, he still scores. He's still engaged. That's important. Like, nobody's. If you got on a jersey, you're not checked out, because at any time, Kid might call. Like, he has crazy rotations. So Josh might play 35 minutes. Josh might play 15. Tim might play 30. He might play 20. Like, they're gonna call your number, and that's the culture. Like, I think that would be more exciting for me if I was a player, to know that tonight might be my night. I know a lot of guys need to start, need to know, like, yo, I'm gonna get my 25, I'm gonna get my 30, but to have the opportunity to where any night is gonna be a night to really get some run. That's pretty cool. But no, to see us come back and beat Charlotte, who, I mean, and you can say the same thing with Chicago. Chicago's in shambles. They really are. To see Zach LaVine go fucking crazy in the second and couldn't be stopped, like just torch us and not really get the ball the rest of the game, that's a bad team. That is a bad team. Your highest paid player, and they're shooting at the Vucevic. Like, yeah, let him shoot a hook shot on the block. Terrible. Say the same thing with Charlotte. I mean, Terry Rozier was hurt, but Gordon Hayward played good. Like I say, PJ Washington was pretty hot most of the game, and then LaMelo, who was in a shooting slump, I guess he liked Dallas, like Zion, and went crazy. I think he had like 20 in the fourth. To see us still beat a team who was, I would say on paper, not as good as us, that gets me excited. Maybe this is a different team. I do got to talk about the reality check that we got when we played Denver. Whew. For one, Denver plays their starters the most in the league. They have the most minutes logged over like the last year or so of their starting five. If Murray can go, he's playing. Gordon playing. Porter playing. They will start those five guys and they will play 34, 33, 35 plus minutes as a unit. We're not there yet. It's levels. There isn't no championship rust. Like they beat up on us. They play good defense. Man, I still remember those possible trade talks of getting Aaron Gordon here, and that's when we first got Luka, and I was just like, yo, to see Luka just throw lobs all day to Aaron Gordon would be a dream come true. Never happened. I'm not mad at it. But to see the player that Aaron Gordon has become, just a quote-unquote dunker, and now you got a guy who I mean, is so essential on both ends of the court, and he's a three-point shooter. That's pretty cool to see just as a fan. A little bit of a reality check. 5-1 right now, second in the West behind Denver, who's 6-1. I think this is a quiet overreaction. Yeah, I'm very excited to see the rest of the season. I took a hiatus because just the way the season ended last year beat me up. It put me in a dark place. Like the one running joke me and JT always say is basketball is my favorite show. Yeah, the season finale last year had me down and out. I didn't want to record. I didn't want to talk about it. People at work were like, what do you think about it? And fuck the Mavericks. Like, I didn't want to talk about it. This gives me hope to hit on a rookie with Derek Lively, to have a healthy Kyrie who's invested, to see Grant Williams be just a Swiss Army knife right now, to see Tim Hardaway back engaged, in better shape, Jaden Hardy taking another step, just being an elite level scorer, finishing at the rim. I mean, you can't stay in front of that guy. That's exciting. This is my quiet overreaction to a 5-1 start. We're starting the in-season tournament. We'll see if that hinders or hurts or even boosts our confidence. But yeah, I will be watching Mavs basketball pretty close the rest of the year.